Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. This morning we complete 2 weeks of this semester already. This morning we complete 775 mornings into our Bhagavad Gita. Relax the body, enjoy the breath, and appreciate with the mind. Appreciate everything you have, everything you are. Om Lam Prithivye Namaha. In our Utsava yesterday, Sukadevji had very meaningfully shared how we tend to stomp on the ground instead of touching the ground. When we appreciate, include your appreciation for the earth, whom we've been stomping on for decades, that she has forgiven you, that you're going to touch her moving forward. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 14 is using the orientation now. We'll go from top down. Brahman, when not felt, expresses as Mayapati. When not felt, expresses as Maya. When not felt, expresses as Guna. That we are definitely feeling. This fall is indicative of us feeling more as a jiva. The further you are in this fall, further down, the more you feel you are a jiva. More like Prince Arjuna and less like Sri Krishna. I'm changing the words into English. Infinity is. That includes you. When not felt, infinity expresses as divinity. Another word for divinity is creator. When not felt, this expresses as creation. I use the word Maya for that. When not felt, creature. Gunas make us feel like we are creatures. As we fall, we feel more of a jiva. As we fall, we feel more we are an ego. This fall is all facilitated by ego. So in this chapter, Sri Krishna is taking us up. I feel like I'm a jiva, an ego. How do I start climbing? Within the gunas, there is tama, which is at the bottom. Then there's raja, then there's sattva. So if I climb up the gunas, that means I'm going to climb up Maya, Mayapati, and as if back into Brahman. You can never fall from Brahman. You can only forget Brahman. The first Chinmaya Setukari retreat, it's pronounced CHISK as an acronym. The first retreat for this demographic that was ever organized was by my batch. Myself and my batchmates who studied under Puja Swami Tejo Mayananda in the 13th Vedanta course. We had organized this in Chinmay Vibhuti, a retreat center in India. And the theme was Bhagavad Gita, GPS on your road to life. Bhagavad Gita is a GPS. And one of the points that Pujaswami Tejamayamnanda repeated to us, a GPS only works if it knows where you are. Correct? Suppose I want to go to Calgary, but that GPS doesn't know where I am. How will it provide me directions to Calgary? That's why when a GPS loses its satellite connection, right, it's frustrating for us. Now it doesn't know where we are. We know where we want to go, but it doesn't know where we are. That's why this chapter is critical. Critical in knowing Tama, Raja, Sattva, critical in knowing the gunas so that you can feel where you want to go. That is infinity. A couple of more thoughts before we get into the next verse. I was explaining to all of the people who are attending the Vivaha Puja, the marriage ceremony on Saturday morning. We put in so much effort into a Navagraha Puja. We're so concerned about the planetary systems, which distilled means context. We're trying to change the context. What I'd shared with them, the Navagraha, or the planetary systems, are contained within Mahakaya. Mahakaya, that is the body of the one who controls obstacles. And he controls obstacles. Those who follow dharma or self-development, their life becomes easier. Those who don't follow dharma or don't follow self-development to go from tama, raja, sattva, their life becomes harder. And I told all of those people, we are not going to engage in an elaborate Navagraha Puja. Instead, we're going to think about how our relationships can be better. Changing our content. In the last verse, verse 13, Shri Krishna shares the danger of tama. A sign of tama is procrastinating. Procrastinating with your responsibilities. Procrastinating with your life responsibility. And that's why I've given you the framework of those who make use of this life evolve. Those who are casual with this life age. Their body ages, not their mind. Those who are careless with this life devolve. As you live, so you die, so you are born. That's where Sri Krishna takes us next. Verse 14. Yada sattve pravriddhetu pralayam yati dehabrit yadottama vidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. Joy. So much joy. Tu means a change of thought. What I've described thus far has been about living. What about if I don't complete going from guna to Brahma? Death comes in between, then what happens? Yada, if sattve pravriddhi, if your predominant guna or quality is sattva. Okay? I'll keep opening up. I'm giving you another framework to analyze who you are so that you know what to practice to peace. Your predominant guna is sattva if you're able to focus. A mind that is focused is filled with lightness, quietness. Raja is a mind that is distracted, filled with haziness, aggressiveness, and a personality that is predominantly tamasic, filled with darkness, laziness. Laziness, yes. I said aggressiveness earlier, now laziness. They're thoughtless. And I don't mean thoughtless in a quiet way. I mean thoughtless in a dull way. They can't even be distracted. At least a distracted person is trying to do something. It is the focused person that is actually doing something. So that's a way to understand if sattva is predominant in you. Pralayam yati dehabrit. When the body meets death. Body meets death. And the implication here is, if there is a guna, then there is maya. If you still have qualities, whether they're laziness, aggressiveness, even quietness, if you have qualities, you will be reborn. That's why this verse is here. You're trying not to have qualities, but what if you do have qualities? What if you have the great quality of sattva? You will be reborn. Where? Yada, now, tada, uttama vidam lokan. You will be born into when we say loka, show me what a loka is. People look up for heaven, correct? There's airplanes right there. They're not heaven, they're creating more pollution. A loka is a field of experience. Anywhere where you're having experiences is a loka. Your body is a loka. Your mind is a loka. So here Sri Krishna is sharing, you will be born into a field, right from chapter 13. What's in this field? Uttama Vedan. Those who are the best knowers. Those who are insightful. Those who will help you to evolve. The same teaching was shared in chapter 8 and chapter 6. You will be born into a family of Satya. Satya means ideally. This family will revolve around ideals, and this will propel you to Sat, which means infinity. Amalan pratipadyate. In this world, there will be significant purity. And this is not an outer purity, because outwardly, everything is always impure. Germs, bacteria, etc. The implication here is you will be born into a world, into a field, where there will be inner purity and more inner purity. Our outer world will end, our inner world will continue. And so the most strong implication of this is, whatever is happening to your body, let it happen. That's like the Navagraha, the context. Invest in your content. That's Mahakaya. The outer investment is limited, highly conditioned. Your inner investment is also limited, but far less limited. Highly worthwhile. It is immune to death. Sri Krishna will now share what happens to those whose qualities are to be distracted, to be thoughtless. What will their next lifetime be like? The next verses are frightening. If you choose not to attend the next 2 mornings, I will understand. An inspiration to application. Your application was to come up with 2 frameworks to better understand Tama, Raja, Sattva. How many of you tried? Good. When you try like this, you personalize, which means you do get to know who you are more. I've given you another one. Sattva is a focused mind. Raja is a distracted mind. And Tama is a thoughtless mind. Again, in the negative. Your application for this morning is, suppose you're reborn. And this is a high hypothetical for all of you. Suppose you're reborn. In your next birth, what would you want to not be associated with? Right now, you're associated with things that you wish you weren't associated with. Imagine you can choose 3 things that you never want to be associated with in your next lifetime. What would they be? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be joy.